Hey there, Internet. Keith here, and welcome to the Cars and Keith YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going over the Vevor Deionized System. This is a wall mount system, very much like a CR Spotless. Price is dang near not believable. It is $190 on Amazon. I'll link it below. But it's also available on Vevor's website for between 170 and 180 bucks. You save 10, 20 bucks on their site, and it is free shipping on their site. So if you want to go there, I don't have an affiliate. I don't have nothing there. I paid $180 for this when it was on Amazon. It got sold out and it came back at $189. So I got it for a little less. It fluctuates up and down. CR Spotless is $400, actually more than $400. For the amount of money, you can't go wrong. And guess what? These 20-inch filters are the same size that fit a water drop. It's about 1/16 of an inch, I think this metal is, but the CR Spotlight is about 1/8 of an inch. Much stronger, and plus it is drilled in 2 positions and the back is much taller to mount much better. So you get to drill a couple of holes, which isn't always that bad because you're going to be able to determine where the holes are and have them perfect to the studs that you have or whatever you're going to be mounting it to. That really, to me, is the one downfall. They've already put the adapters in for you, the female on the input side, the male on the output side with garden hose threads. CR Spotless doesn't do that for you, and CR Spotless, theirs are plastic, these are brass. And it comes with the bypass already. Now it is the cheaper type of bypass. You have 2 Ys that you put on either side, and you have a bypass hose that will carry from one to the other. Comes with a TDS meter. They give you the Velcro separate, so you don't have them decide where you put it. The TDS meter has a calibration, a plus and a minus button, which is really good because the one that comes with the CR Spotless, you have to use a little mini screwdriver, and if you turn too much, it breaks off and it's useless. They also give you a water hose that if you need to run this just like to your wall or whatever, that's a female and a male on both sides. It's kind of cheapy. I don't really like it. It's very stiff. They don't post a max gallons per minute that I've seen for this unit. We're going to base it off the CR Spotless at 2.5 gallons per minute. If you're running 200 ppm or less, if you're running 400 ppm, I would say you probably want to stick closer to 2 gallons per minute. So they state at 200 ppm, you should be able to get 320 gallons. So at 100 ppm, you should be able to get about 600-ish gallons. And at 50 ppm, you're going to be closer to 1,200 gallons. And then 300 ppm, you're probably shooting for 250. 400 ppm, you're shooting for like 150, maybe a little less. So I always say it, this $15 TDS meter, I'll link it below. Get one, find out what you're getting into before you try this stuff. There are better systems that are fitted for a higher ppm, tank styles, but really truly when you get up into the upper ppm, 350, 400 plus, you're gonna wanna go to some kind of storage system, reverse osmosis, something like that is better cost effectiveness. Now, if you can afford it and you want to go this route, you can do whatever you want. They don't sell refills yet. They don't have refill cartridges. So you're gonna have to stick to the resins that's available out there. The cheapest is going to be the Colombian Bam Bam. My favorite, comes sealed in this bag. You know, it's going to stay. It's not going to go bad as easily. So it's easier to store. These are about 50 bucks for 8 pounds. We haven't weighed it yet, but these should be holding 6.5 to 7.5 pounds. I believe CR Spotless holds 7 to 7.5, but I'll show you there's a difference in these filters versus theirs, which I really like. So when you do your refills and you reseat it, you're going to want to use some silicone O-ring lubricant. That's going to help that seal, and it's also going to help condition. It also comes with 2 extra O-rings as well and some Teflon tape. You have instructions as well. It might be very helpful to you, but I don't care. So on this side, we're going to run our male into the female on the input side. And if you don't really know what side is input, at the top through the sight here, there's actually, it tells you if it's the in or the out. This is just going to screw into that adapter they already have there for you. It's already Tefloned like crazy. Hopefully it doesn't leak. I'm going to keep turning. This actually swivels on the connection here. Now this is where we kind of fail, because if you were to use the male here and then use their fitting, it's going to come here. There's no backflow preventer anywhere. So when you shut this off, water's not going to go anywhere. You open it up. Where's water going to go? It's going to hit here. It's going to go straight into the filter. It's going to fill everything up. And then it's going, when it's full, then it's going to start coming out this way. We don't want that. What we want is for it to be like this. So when the filter's running, the water goes straight here and straight out. Then when you want to bypass, we close this here so water can't go back in. We open this and then water comes this way. That's the way it should be. So to do that, you can do 2 different things. You can replace this adapter here with a 3/4 inch MPT to 3/4 inch GHT, which is garden hose thread. swivel on this side. And then that will allow you to screw this into it. Or you can leave the adapter here and run a double garden hose swivel. I'm going to run this. What it really does is basically adds an inch out here. So if you want it to be more flush and more clean looking, you're going to want to replace this with this. Now we take this, but now we've kind of screwed ourselves on this side because now we have a female on both sides. We want this to be a male because when I hook up our female side of our garden hose, we're going to want the male side because that's what's going to hook up to your pressure washer or whatever you're hooking this up to, garden hose sprayer. So we're going to have to adapt this to a male. So yes, we have several adapters here, but this is what's going to get you that clean look. You have your hose here is double female, so it's going to fit to both of these males. Now it does give you a clean look in the back. The problem is now this hose is now sitting further out than the wall mounting position of this. So if you are going to wall mount this, you're going to turn it around. Like I said, these are on a swivel. And you'll run it out the front like that. Now with that all set up, all we have left is the TDS meter. We're going to plug the TDS meter in the top, just like that. So it says in and out, but it's really on and off. So we're going to put our wrench on. Now these are already kind of loose, but you're going to want to go right to left if you're looking straight at it to undo it. And then this side. And then you just kind of undo them at the same time. So now you can look underneath, and this actually has these guides here. See how Spotless does not have this. This is what keeps that cartridge nice and seated in the middle, making sure you're not going to have any blow-by issues. So the best way to take it out is to use 2 fingers in the middle to kind of pull it out. And you have this big filter right here, and it's just this mesh, rolled up mesh stuff. And it sits over top of this and comes down the side and seats and centers that perfectly. And then it can unscrew from the top and the bottom. So you can do it either way you want. It's better to do this from the bottom because I'll show you one really cool thing about the top. It's got this sediment filter at the top. So not only is that taking sediment out, but it's also making it much more difficult to have blow-by issues because the resin is not escaping the cartridge. You'll see how it's shaped. We have lost a little bit of resin space because of that sediment, but I think the benefit is well worth it. This one from the bottom, it's got this filter in there. Water comes through here, goes up. This is a very fine mesh. It's not going to make it through there. And then you can see how it's just stuff there. All right, the bucket's teared out. So this is only resin weight. All right, they're a little light on resin at 6 pounds. But 6 pounds between the two should be pretty good. I don't know if we're gonna hit quite 1,000 with only the 6 pounds. But at this price, if it hits 500, we're good. Because once we put the Bam Bam in there and max these things out, we got a long way to go after that first refill. This is some nice looking resin too. Like the coloring is pretty decent. I'm making a mess. I'd say there's about a ½ pound of room in the bottom. So we definitely have room for improvement, and you can really stuff this stuff in there. So to put it back in, you could leave this ring on there, or you could take it off and then stuff it in when it goes in. So you can go in like this. Make sure it's seated on that center part. Then you can just stuff this around the edges. And the cartridge is dead center. It doesn't move at all. So to put them together, we just do the opposite how we took them apart. We line them up. I'm gonna take this way as we go up. And then I'm gonna do about a 1/4 turn tight. That maybe not even a 1/4 turn. That's good. You should be able to just turn it till you feel like it's just a bit too much. So it's all back together and ready to run some water. But before we go any further, check the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to the testing. Output goes outside to the storage, the 500-gallon storage. I'll show you that in a little bit. On the input side, I have my Ely quick connects here. I'm going to use my Ely spray nozzle, and I'm going to use the shutoff valve on it to be able to regulate to make sure we're right at about that 2.5 gallons per minute. Hook up our output. All right, we're gonna just run bypass first, just to test the bypass. So I have this up, which means this is closed, this is pointed towards the hose, and this is pointed towards the hose. So that means it's only open going this way. No leaks, we're good there. Now we're going to close the bypass. We're going to open up the filters and see what happens. We already have water coming out, so we're pretty much filled up. Yeah, that's good. Nice, no leaks. Now these are never going to be as accurate as these because these are calibrated to judge moving water. There's more variables involved. They're not going to be as accurate as these. Now, if you want the input and output to be on opposite sides, that's very easy. All 8 of these bolts can come off the top. You take the mounting plate off, you turn it the opposite direction, and then you screw it all down. It's the exact same thing on both sides. Now we're gonna turn the water on and find out how much the bypass can do. 6 gallons a minute. So it's not full, but the inner diameter is not restricted it too much. 6 gallons per minute is more than enough to anything you're gonna need. So let's check ours. Normally it's between 52 and 60, depends on the time of the year. As we get closer to spring, it actually gets a little bit better. Wintertime, it's a little bit more. So it's mainly based off of the temperature of the water that's coming out of the ground. So here we go. Wow, 48 ppm. We're getting some good water right now. And this was just recently calibrated. It was 344 at their 342 ppm on the calibrated water. So dead on. So we ran it for like a minute or two to kind of get everything flushed out. So let's check the water, see what it is at 2.5 gallons a minute. So the meter here says 0, and then this is measuring 0 ppm. I mean, to be expected, right? That's a lot of resin in there. We'll run it until we get about 10 ppm. That's when I would normally stop. Actually, at about 5 or 6 ppm is when I order my refills. People say you can go up to 20. I just go to 10. And also on this meter, if you leave it on, I'll make a shut off. You just got to turn it off and turn it back on. There's our meter. As you can see, it's fluctuating between 2.47 and 2.54 gallons per minute. We're going to go here. We've flowed about 4.19 gallons. We flowed more than that because we kind of cleaned it out a little bit, but we won't count that. So there's a hose coming out the garage around all the way to our big old bladder. So it's going to get really big. It's going to fill up like a pillow, like an air mattress, basically. Holds 500-ish gallons. I'd say closer to maybe like 470 because it's on an incline. So once it gets to a certain height, it's going to overflow before it ever gets to 500 gallons. We're close enough to 500 gallons. It's 485 gallons. As you can see, we're completely full. Can't quite hold that 500 gallons. 485 is still too much. I'd say like 465 or so. So it's going to overflow for a little bit. And now the rest of the water is running down into the woods. So here's our sample. 2 ppm at 500. We'll see how that works. Maybe it'll stay like that for a while, but that's our report at 500 gallons. Our sample says 2, but this still says 0. We're now at 638 gallons. Here is the sample. We're now at 3. So the sample was 3, and now this is reading 1. Okay, I accidentally fell asleep, and it's now at 938 gallons. 9 ppm, so it actually was perfect. That was perfect. I actually woke up just at the right time. Now this one is stating 6, but we're going to go off of the other one. Well, there you go, 938 gallons at 9 ppm. We've probably gone a little bit further. Who knows? We may have gotten to 1,000, probably not. But this one showed 6. This one's reading a little bit low. So obviously we can calibrate that with those up and down buttons. I don't really know exactly how to do all that, but I'm sure it's in the instructions that I didn't read. That's pretty dang good for the amount of money, and for 12 pounds of resin, that's pretty good. So this is a probably pretty good regenerated resin. The whole system worked perfect. We didn't leak. I mean, it's an incredible value, and there's not much else I can say. So don't forget to check out links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. So if you're savvy, you're gonna have to drill some. You're gonna have to, comes with your filter wrench. Comes with your filter wrench, comes in at the bottom. Comes with the filter wrench. These comes with a filter wrench. These are tapered housings. So you start from the bottom, it gets a little loose. So you have your filter wrench. This is your